Hi, this is Tamara from mooglyblog.com, and in this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to crochet the lower linked double crochet, which is a double crochet stitch variation. Here you can see I've worked up 2 rows. So this last row you can see I made is the right side, and the bottom row is from the wrong side. If I flip it over, you get another look at how it looks when it's finished. So you can use this stitch in rows, or of course you can use it in the round, and I have featured it in the Christmas tree door basket. Let's take a look at how this stitch is made. The lower linked double crochet stitch is often found in the technique known as crocheting 2 rows at once. It essentially creates a link in the stitches that keeps them from separating, a lot like standard linked double crochet, but again, it's a little variation. And don't you love that we can do so many fun things with crochet? Now, the great thing about this is, since it's a stitch, not a stitch pattern, we don't need any particular number of stitches. There's no stitch multiple to worry about. We don't have to worry about what's happening in the previous row. We just get to go ahead and make this stitch whenever we want to make it. Now, of course, it helps to have something to work it into, but we'll go ahead and take a look at it right now. So I'm just going to randomly crochet a number of chains here so we can demonstrate with. And to get started with a row of this, what I personally like to do is actually work a chainless starting double crochet, but that's probably not the official way to start this technique. Instead, we're going to go ahead and have a chain of 2. Now, I like to work with a chain of 2. Others like to work with a chain of 3 and count it as their first stitch, but I'm not going to do that. Now, to get started, it's again very similar to linked double crochet if you've made that one before. Instead of yarning over to make our stitches, we're going to grab loops from the previous stitch. Now, at this point, it's our first stitch, so we don't have a first stitch to grab from. So I'm just going to go ahead and you can, again, play with this a little bit and see what works best for you. I'm going to go ahead and go into the stitch right next to my hook here, the last chain that I made. And I'm going to go into the underneath hump of it. There we go, like so. Now, I'm not going to yarn over and pull a loop up through this loop, which is what I would normally do when I am making linked double crochet. Instead, I'm just going to leave my hook right in that loop. Then I'm going to skip the next chain and go to the chain after that. I'll insert my hook there. There we go. And now I will yarn over and pull up a loop. Now, it looks a little crazy and a little tight, but I'm going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through 2. Oops, I accidentally pulled through 3, but we can push 1 back. There we go. And then yarn over and pull through 2. So we finish it off like a standard double crochet. And for starting purposes, you can see we've just got that little turning chain right there. Again, you can do another chain in your turning chain if you prefer. You can play with this a little bit. In the pattern I use it on, we don't necessarily need to start with it. We start with the chainless starting double crochet, which I actually prefer to start with, but this would be the more likely official start to the stitch, if you will. I'll show you how to start with the chainless starting double crochet here in just a moment. But for now, let's continue on with the actual stitch itself, how all the rest of them in the row would be made. What we're going to do is we need to look at the previous stitch. And this one looks a little goofy because it's that first one down into our with our turning chain here. But what we're looking for is that the bottom half of the stitch, there will be one leg here on the side. It'll be on the side facing the direction of your work. So if you are right-handed, this would be the left side. If you are left-handed, this will be on the right side. What we want to do is we want to insert our hook right under that loop right there. Leave it there. Don't yarn over and pull up a loop and go into the next stitch. In this case, it's a chain. It could be any stitch, whatever row we're working into. Yarn over and pull a loop up through that stitch. And now we've got 3 loops on our hook. We've got our active loop. We've actually got that loop from the previous stitch and the loop we now pulled up from the next stitch of the row below. But we work it off just as a standard double crochet. We yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Let's do a couple more. Again, I want to look at the previous stitch I just finished and look for those 2 vertical bars here at the bottom half of the stitch and pick up the one to the side on the side of my work. Do not yarn over and pull up a loop. It can be hard to stop yourself. That's what instincts say, but we just leave that loop right on the hook. Go to the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And we can just keep working across just like that. We pick up that loop and then go to the next stitch. Pull up our loop through the next stitch, then yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And this is going to give us double crochets with a slightly different look. It's got a great bit of texture. That's why I used it for the Christmas tree door basket. It's also got a little bit of stretch. Now I worked it into some chains, so that's limiting the stretch here, but it is a really lovely stitch with some great texture. And again, it doesn't matter what's going on around it. As long as you've got another double crochet you can grab that loop from, you can make it in any number, in any type of pattern, in the round or in rows. So I'm going to make one more here. Oops, I grabbed the wrong bar there. And this is something to watch for. We want to stop and take our time and make sure I get the right bar on that one. There we go. And then into the next stitch, pull up our loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And now I want to show you how I begin this stitch when I use a chainless starting double crochet instead, which I think is a little bit easier and gives a little bit of a nicer finished look. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to, rather than doing a little chain here, I'm going to pull up the loop on my hook, the active loop, to about the height of a double crochet, maybe just a little bit taller. This yarn I happen to be using is a little bit stretchy, so that gives me a little bit more room. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure the top of this loop with my finger so that it can't spin around on the hook itself. Then I'm going to go down and around to yarn over with that loop. Let me show you again. I secure the top of the loop and yarn over with the loop itself. Then I insert my hook right in that first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull through that loop and behind our yarn over, and now you can see I've got just 2 loops left on the hook, so I will release the top of that loop, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And now I have something that I think looks a little bit more straight up and down, a little bit more like a double crochet, and it gives us a great start for our lower linked double crochet. So now, again, I'll go back to what I was doing on the first row. I want to come down here to the bottom half of the stitch and look for that loop right here. I'm going to insert my hook right under that loop, leave it there, then insert my hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull up my loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And now I can go right back to making as many lower linked double crochets as desired. Now, as I mentioned, this technique is one I learned when I learned about crocheting 2 rows at once. That said, I think it's got lots of other uses as well. That also said, I didn't find an official name for this stitch, so lower linked double crochet just made the most sense to me. But if you've seen this stitch by another name, definitely let me know. I would love to add that information to my post. But that is how you make the lower linked double crochet, which is the stitch we used in the Christmas tree door basket, which is a free pattern you'll find on Moogly. And it's such a lovely stitch. I'm sure I'll find other uses for it, and I hope you will as well. And that's how to crochet the lower linked double crochet stitch. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more great crochet stitch tutorials.